all love, all criticism is a great thing for us, man. Keep it coming.
I want to talk about Dame Dash, Sam, man. We didn't talk about this last week, but he sat down with Big Boy's Neighborhood and he reiterated that he thinks that Jay-Z did him dirty in an interview with Big Boy. Let me play a little audio from it and see what we think here.
You and Jay-Z now, when I saw y'all building an empire that I thought was going to always be together.
We have fundamental differences. I'm about making other people famous and rich and equal. That's what I wanted with Rockefeller. And he wanted to be the boss and have people work for him for 25 years straight, which is what happened. So, I actually feel sorry for my fallen angels because I've taught people to share. I've taught people to be equal, not to work for. I can't have my friends working for me. Couldn't do it. They got to be my equals. And that's what I believe in 100%. And everyone should be equal. You shouldn't be a king. Everyone should be a king. Everyone should have their own kingdoms. I make kings. I don't make slaves. I don't want nobody dependent on me. When people get around me, I make them independent of me, as you notice. Wow. And if they want to stay around, they can. So what I've done is made everyone around me a king. Kanye's a king. Jay's a king. Kevin Hart's a king. Lee Daniels, king. You know what I'm saying? I don't know what
Where are you?
What do you think about that statement? Obviously, there's more to that, but chose that particular statement, for a reason. What do you think about Dame Dash's philosophy versus what he's saying Jay-Z's philosophy is in business? What's your thoughts on that? I don't know if you heard that yet.
I did. I heard it. My opinion is you got one person who's a billionaire and one person who's not. Now, I guess somebody can question the moral code behind a billionaire and his ethics. People get in the business to make money. People get in the business to work for themselves. People get in the business for the independence. There's a number of reasons why, but I think the number one reason is financial independence.
Right.
And if you find yourself dependent on certain people or certain outcomes for you to have daily living, then how successful is the business and how successful are the day-to-day operations in that business?
Right.
No disrespect, child support, this, that, or the third, the negative net income, this, that, or the third. And it's like, you said that you built billionaires, which is great. I give you credit for The Rock. I give you credit for a lot of the things that we grew up loving. But you said Lee Daniels, Kevin Hart, Dame Dash, Kanye West, one out of them four talk to you still. And all of them were billionaires and you're not. So why didn't you practice what you preached and make yourself one? I don't get it.
And a lot of the other people that he interacted with in business accused him of taking money from him. Beanie Siegel, Jim Jones had an issue, and a few other people. Some people were saying Currency. I'm not sure about that issue. The rapper Currency
maybe
had an issue. I'm not sure of it, but I know it's been a lot of falling out. So my thing is, and then the other thing is subjective. Like you said, you made these people kings. I mean, that's subjective. I'm sure they may not think that you made them. I mean, Jay-Z said, if you made Jay, make another Jay. Jay. So it's just like, maybe y'all just had an interaction and y'all benefited off each other. You helped them there. I don't mean you made somebody though. They had to put the work in themselves. And then you look at, Jay-Z, and he has a tree of people as well that he made, you know what I mean? Rihanna, all these different people, can go all the way down the list that he's put in position to help get into position.
Hell, Memphis Bleak.
Yeah, Memphis Bleak. And these people got their own businesses now, you know what I mean? Whether it's steaks and this and that, and they're doing things, Biggs, Burt, Tata, Desiree Perez, ironically, she, is now the CEO of Roc Nation. Title, all these different things, like you said, a billionaire. So it's just like, why keep talking about it though? You know what I mean? After all this time, it seems like there's a little bit of bitterness there, obviously from Mr. Dash and whatnot. But I just don't know if everything that he's saying is true nowadays. You know what I mean? I just don't.
There was a point in time where you could never hear him talk about it. He was frustrated being asked about it, and now it seems like he doesn't want to stop talking about it. So I don't know. Because some people ask questions about that. I don't know.
Look at the empires, though. I mean, all I do is just look at them.
Look
what's going on now. It's clear.
It's clear, bro.
It's clear. And like you said, all those people are still together. Most of them. You the only guy that they excommunicated.
Yeah, I mean, I heard him say on that interview, he did Biggs dirty, he did me dirty, he did people dirty, but I still see him and Biggs coexisting in a room. So, and I don't see you. And we also heard that we also heard you apologizing to those pieces, saying that you're sorry you wanted to cut. We remember it. It was about the time you threw Kenyatta under the bus. Yeah. So, I mean, I don't know, man. I still got respect and love for Dame Dash, but I definitely see a little more critical.
Yeah, it's running out.
I have to see a critical eye on him.
It's running out because it's like, I don't give a damn what somebody says. I watch what they do.
Facts.
You know what I mean? Period.
Point
so
blank,
you can talk good all day. We seen that with people running in the community talking real good, but look at what they do. Look at the relationships. You know, the bridges that have been burned. Look at the people that's saying you took this and so money from and things like that, stuff that ain't been remedied. So even though I know he's came out and addressed a lot of that stuff and said, nah, it ain't true. But I mean, you know, Beans, you know, he talked about it. Jim Jones
talked about it.
I mean, we got the audios.
Yeah, Young Dirty Bastard talked about it and more, man. But
I forgot about that.
Not me. It's plenty, man.
And then you can't just chalk that up. So that's just the price of business. It ain't.
Nah,
unless so many good business deals going, like me and you do good business together. We ain't talking no shady shit.
Nope.
We do business with that person together. So just because you do business don't mean it has to end up and you at each other's throats and shit. And somebody's it don't have to end like that. So don't chalk it up to, that's just the cost of business and nah. Somebody fucked up. Somebody did something wrong somewhere.
It had to, because I mean, real brothers and family business should not end relationships. Right. Unless it was some greed involved and some transparency lacked somewhere where it was unavoidable and it was nothing else to do.
Right.
And hey, some people got to look in the mirror and take responsibility for that. I don't know if I've ever heard Dame Dash take any responsibility for his role or his part in it. And you heard Jay-Z say shit. So at least he's been consistent.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Definitely. So yeah, man, definitely you tuned into the Hip Hop Uncensored podcast with your brother Oh God and Sam Ant. Now, Eddie Murphy, Sam Ant, he was on Saturday Night Live, and man, he used his platform to unload on the now jailed Bill Cosby, Sam Ant. Your thoughts on that, and if you give the people the backstory on sort of what went down with Eddie Murphy on Saturday Night Live.
Yeah, so Eddie Murphy was on there, I guess 35 years after the date he originated on there was back in 1984. Saturday Night Live, I guess it got his best ratings this past weekend, and he did a monologue in the beginning, and he talked about Bill Cosby. Now, I forgot what show he interviewed on, but he said he may do a Bill Cosby joke. To get a backstory on the history of Bill Cosby and Eddie Murphy, Bill Cosby has some very critical things to say about Eddie Murphy early on in Eddie Murphy's career. Eddie Murphy was very excited to meet a Bill Cosby, looked up to him, as did a lot of young comedians at that time, because Bill Cosby was on top of his game. Bill Cosby didn't like the fact that Eddie Murphy cursed. He didn't like the fact of how he dressed, what he wore on stage, and was basically, in a nutshell, telling him how he should talk, how he should perform, how he should walk. And as a man, he was like, well, who the hell are you? So Bill Cosby, at the height of his career, had some very critical things about Eddie Murphy. Eddie Murphy took it as a comedian, a perfect time to say something. Now, we all know Bill Cosby currently sits behind bars for things that my opinion is he's innocent of, but nonetheless, he sits behind bars for various reasons and reasons that aren't going to be on the screen. But people think that it was off color. Now, in my opinion, comedy is comedy. Now, I said that. We talked about the young lady talking about Triple X. We talked about jokes about race. We talked about jokes about all that. And I consistently say the same thing, man. It may be off color to somebody, but when you walk into an arena, a comic cannot be afraid to offend somebody, because they're in the arena to make somebody laugh. And things that make people laugh often are also things that make people uncomfortable. So I'm not mad at him going there.
Right.
I'm not mad at him going there with Bill Cosby, especially given their history. But a lot of people are. What's your thoughts on that?
I'm gonna read what he said real quick to Bill Cosby. Pull up here. He put it. But if you had told me 30 years ago I would be this boring stay-at-home house dad, and Bill Cosby would be in jail, I would have took that bet. He also went on.
Said, "Who's America's dad now?"
Who's America's dad now? Okay, good. My thing is, like, why use your platform to take a stab at him like that? Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Like, why? That's almost like
it's NBC platform.
Yeah, like, that's wow, man. See, well, so why? Like, that's almost like you and your enemy, and y'all going at it or whatever. And he's locked up, and you outside. You like taunting him at the gate, like you gotta do 10 years now, my nigga. Like, you know what I mean? That's just That's the stuff you just don't really do.
Damn.
You know, comedy is definitely comedy. And you know, we know what beefs like 50 Cent, Rick Ross. Rick Ross was on his deathbed. 50 Cent put memes out, said if he dies, he dies. We know that this stuff could get real brutal in comedy and beefs and stuff, but it's just like, you know, it's crazy. It's crazy, but it's even more crazier though with Bill Cosby. I think his publicist, you know, came out and pretty much said Eddie was a, you know what I mean, a slave.
I got the statement right here.
Yeah.
Oh God, Andrew Wyatt. He was a spokesperson for Bill Cosby. He said, Bill Cosby broke color barriers in the entertainment industry so that Murphy and other comedians like Dave Chappelle and Kevin Hart could perform. Murphy's jokes were disparaging. One would think that Murphy was given his freedom to leave the plantation so that he could make his own decisions, but he decided to sell himself back to being a Hollywood slave. That's quotes from Andrew Wyatt, spokesperson of Bill Cosby. Took it there.
Yeah.
We hear about all the shit. We ain't heard from Tory Lanez since he wrote that statement. So we hear about it, right? But he went there with it, man. What do you think about that?
Yeah, you know, yeah.
He went there with it.
Yeah, he went all the way there. You know, this had to come from Bill. Obviously, it came from Bill Cosby. He's like, yo, rip this dude. But yeah, man, I mean, what else could you call him but that?
The beef is real.
Yeah, it's real. It's just like, what else could you call him? I mean, like, that's why we always get on here and we talk about the people who would just go to any length to entertain you, whether that be put on a dress, whatever they got to do. And it just goes to show, like, look, they will do anything. They're being controlled by what this machine wants them to do. They don't care about the image. They don't care about their people. They just care about making a dollar. So they'll go to the length to throw on a dress, act like a woman and all that, and even go to the length of tearing down their own brother on a major platform like Saturday Night Live on NBC.
You don't think he should have did it?
Nah. I mean, it's old beef. I mean, you know, I'm not going to say, I understand, again, what goes on with beefs and stuff, but I don't think he should have did, being as who he is. I think it was definitely a low blow, and it definitely showed his true colors, in my opinion.
I don't mind it, but I understand why people are upset. On the NBC platform, with Bill Cosby sitting in prison, a lot of people thinking because of NBC, wrong place, wrong time. Comedy's comedy to me, though. I wish he would have did some worse, but it is what it is. And that's no disrespect to Bill Cosby. Just be real and authentic.
He's an old man, though. I mean, now, like, man.
It ain't like you took away his commissary or tried to put him in jail longer.
Who's America's dad now? Wow.
Got him. Like, damn.
Dang, Ed.
And then Bill called him a Hollywood slave. So shout out to Mr. Cosby. Throwing shots right back. I mean, it is what it is. Hopefully Mr. Cosby can get out soon and he can be exonerated.
Definitely. Well, man, over a few days ago was an NBA game going on the other day, and a fan yelled something at Isaiah Thomas of, what team is he on again?
The Wizards.
The Wizards. Okay, my bad. The Washington Wizards. And he went to the fan and he said something to him. Sandman has that backstory that's been blowing up today.
Yeah, man. So Isaiah Thomas, he went into the stands and he had some things to say. Now, he was shooting free throws, and he said while he was running back after making one of three free throws, the fan